Hey everybody, this is Chris with Simple Tech coming at you with this week's Simple Tech Tips, where we help you take the stress out of IT. So it's October, and October, as we know, it's usually macOS month, right? So Apple usually drops their new macOS this time every year, and we're getting prepared for Ventura. And this week, the beta 8 for macOS Ventura came out, which, looking at Apple's timeline, probably tells me that we're probably working off the gold master at this point, with it being beta 8. So it'll probably be the final bug fixes and all that kind of stuff before it goes live. So my gut tells me within the next week or two, we'll probably see macOS Ventura being available in the App Store for us to download and install. So with that, I want to talk about one of the anticipated features, at least for me, which is called Stage Manager. So Stage Manager is the ability, it's very similar to Stacks. So if you've ever used Stacks in Mac OS, it's very, very similar to that on your desktop and how the files are organized, except this is for your apps. And so it keeps your apps organized and your windows organized on the left side of your screen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a minute, we're gonna talk about how to turn it on and how it's used. It's pretty basic features, at least from what I could see and how it's used. Now, granted, I don't have full documentation from Apple, so there might be some buzzers and whistles that I'm missing, and if so, we'll update this video for you. But hopefully you get an idea of how to turn on Stage Manager and how to use the basic functionalities of Stage Manager, so that way when you do get that opportunity to download and install macOS Ventura, you are ready to go. So if you're ready, go ahead and sit down at your computer and let's get started. All right, so this is gonna be quick. So we're looking at Ventura right now. It might not look like it because it looks a lot like Monterey and all the other operating systems Apple's had for a while. But if you take a peek, the best way to turn on Stage Manager that I found, and anybody can chime in, put in comments like if there's other ways and stuff, but I just came up to my control center up here and I totally found it by accident. When I clicked on Control Center, I went to go do something else. I went to go switch users, as you can see at the bottom of my Control Center. And then I saw the Stage Manager button and I was like, oh, there it is, because I didn't know where it was before. So if you go up to your Control Center here in the top right-hand corner, and this is how you turn it on, and you just honestly click Stage Manager. You'll get a pop-up because I've had it on before. And I do remember there was a pop-up confirming that I wanted to turn on Stage Manager, and I was like, yeah, I want to turn on Stage Manager. And then it turned on and it was active. One of the things you might have noticed just now after I pushed it was that my desktop icons all disappeared. So all my documents, my PDFs, all that kind of good stuff. And initially I kind of went, uh-oh, what did I do? You know, when you're running a beta, you just never really know what kind of bugs might be there. And I thought, uh-oh, I just lost something. But when in actuality, they're there, you just don't see them. But if I click on my desktop, it activates Finder again for me. And when Finder is activated, boom, there they are, they're there. So rest assured your stuff is there, but if you happen not to be in the Finder application for some reason, it's not gonna show those items. And so what you'll notice is I'll go ahead and I'll open a couple of different Chrome windows, maybe a couple different PDFs, so you kind of get an idea of how this is gonna work. So in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and open up Chrome. You'll notice that in the desktop items disappeared when I left Finder, right? So that's kind of cool. So I got one Chrome window open. I'm gonna go ahead and open another one. So we have two. So we physically have two Chrome windows open. Now right now, Stage Manager is not in use because right now I'm in Chrome. I'm in the one application that I have open. But now if I go ahead and I click on Finder, you'll see, I'm gonna have to move my face out of the way. You'll see on my desktop there that now I have my Chrome windows. So they got put away in Stage Manager and they went over to the side, right? And what's neat is if I click on them, they come back and you can see they switch back and forth. Now, this is something I had to figure out. I thought maybe it was gonna be like Stacks. So if you're used to Stacks, you know, if you have a stack, let's say my PDF documents, I'm over on this right-hand side over here of my screen. When I scroll with two fingers, it flips through my stacks. So I was kind of expecting Stage Manager to do the same thing. So I kept trying to do that and it wasn't working. So, you know, I'm trying to scroll now over Stage Manager over here on this side, on my left side, and it's not scrolling through those windows. But what I did find is if you actually click, oh, maybe Loom is not gonna let me do this, let's see. or I don't think that's Loom. I think that's actually Stage Manager. There we go. No, it is Loom. When I click on, I'm gonna have to be really close there. When I click on the Chrome icon, it splits my windows that I have open into two, right? So then I can pick and choose which one I want to bring to the front and utilize. So let's do that with Finder. We'll open a couple different Finder windows. Like I'll just go to my Documents folder and let's open another one and I'll go into Google Drive, right? And so now I'll click on my desktop. So you can see here, if I click on the Finder icon, here's all the different ones I have, and it tells me what they are. So it's kind of hard to see with my white background, but it says Google Drive, Documents, and then Chris, my home folder, right? So if I wanted my Documents one, boom. It brings them all up and displays them all, but in this particular case, it's just my Documents that's in front. So that's a quick little, usage on how to activate Stage Manager and kind of how it works. It works very, very similar with PDF documents, so everything really is the same when it comes to this. Oh, where are my PDFs hiding? It's kind of odd. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I clicked on PDFs, they just kind of all disappeared. See that? But let's open, you know what? Let's do it this way. We'll use my Finder here. Let's open a couple PDFs. Here, this is fun. I was playing with this the other day. So that's going to open preview. And if I come back, there we go. Okay, so I got a couple things open in preview. So now if I click on my desktop, there's preview stuff. If I click on the preview icon, I can click on the heart and it brings it to the front. Now it does open up both of them. Now one thing I haven't tried yet, we're going to learn together right now, is what happens if I minimize one of these. What happens? So it does put it over off to the side. That's really cool. So if you do minimize these, it does put it off over the side. Now if I click here, so the question is, if I just click on the Crewwho one, does it bring them both up or just the one? It remembers that I had the one minimized. So I just learned something while I was kind of tinkering around and playing with this. If you minimize something, it will put it over in Stage Manager and stuff it over there. And when you actually click on it, it will not bring them both up. So let's just say I know Chris, okay. So if I come over here and I click on Stage Manager, it's only bringing the one I did not have minimized just a moment ago back up. So that should happen the same thing, and that should bring them both up. So I should have two different Chrome windows here. So just something that we just learned together, but really cool stuff when it comes to Stage Manager. I always have lots and lots of things open, and typically I go full screen so that way they aren't distracting. Ooh, full screen. Let's try that. Let's talk about full screen. I'm gonna put Google Chrome in full screen. So now if I click here and I click there, okay. So the full screen behavior still feels the same. I still have to kind of swipe to go over to full screen. Oh, but wait a minute. Let's bring that up. If I go to full screen Chrome right now and I come back to my desktop one, it looked like Google Chrome, the one that's currently in Stage Manager, came back up to the front. So I went over, that's my full screen Google Chrome, and I come back, oh, nope, I must have been seeing things. Okay, cool. So anyways, when things are in beta, you like to play, you like to learn. So hopefully that helps you get started with Stage Manager. Primarily how to turn it on, how to access the different windows you may have open that are in the same application. And then also don't forget, it kind of goes through and arranges them for you, so you can minimize them. And then when you click on it, it only brings the one that was not minimized back to the front. So I'm gonna physically have to come over here and click on that again and bring it back up. That's weird where it put it though. So I had to drag it over. But a pretty neat feature. It's easier than minimizing things and have them put back in the dock. I feel like it's cleaner and you get a better preview. I don't know about you, but I usually have a lot of documents open. So I like to look down in my dock and see if I can have a preview. It's usually why I have magnification turned on in my dock in most cases, so it gets bigger so I can see it. Now hopefully I don't have to do that because I actually get a preview of it a little bit bigger over here in Stage Manager. So definitely a benefit I could see for me there. But if I click here and I want that one, I can just bring that one up to the front, or if I want both, so on and so forth. So pretty neat little features with macOS Ventura coming out. Stage Manager being one of the main ones that have been discussed and talked about, and one of my favorite features that I was looking forward to. So I hope this helps you turn it on and get going. And, thank you. Thank you for watching. Please click the subscribe button if you want to keep up to date with all of our future videos, and click the thumbs up to let us know if you like this video. We also want to hear from you, so use the comments section below if you have any questions on our video or have videos that you'd like to see us create. We would love to make something pertinent to you, and thanks for watching.